So once we have this excess of protons on the outside of the mitochondrial membrane, again, that's going to set up this situation with the unbalanced concentrations. We have more protons on the outside of the membrane than you have on the inside, and that's going to drive diffusion. Now, if you remember back to diffusion, in order for ions to be diffused across the membrane, you needed a carrier protein. You need a helper protein. It's not going to be able to get through the membrane proper. The bilayer, and it's also not going to be able to just get through an open tunnel, a channel. It has to have a facilitated diffusion, or that protein is going to grab it and bring it through. And there does happen to be that protein. It's called ATP synthase, and it actually has two purposes. As you can see, the hydrogen ions are going to come through, and that's going to give enough energy for a phosphorylation reaction. So the reactions in electron transport chain to get that proton gradient made were redox reactions, reduction oxidation reactions. But the reaction we have here is the same phosphorylation reaction we saw in glycolysis. That is ADP plus a phosphate. The enzyme here gets the energy to put the phosphate on the ADP, making ATP from the protons that are moving through. There's a lot of chemistry behind that. I'm going to save for if you were going to take a higher level biochemistry course. But just suffice to say that when the hydrogen ions come through, that is enough energy to get the phosphate on the ATP that makes the ATP that can then go from the mitochondria to the cell to do any type of work. And if you look again at electron transport as a whole, you'll see that for each NADH that comes into the system, we had 3 hydrogen ions that were pumped out. So that means that we can make 3 ATPs from that. One thing I didn't show you during ETS is we have this FADH2. It doesn't come in on the first enzyme. Remember, the shape is important. And since FADH2 is not the same as NADH, it can't come in at the same place. But FADH2 actually comes in at the second molecule, so it is going to go through number 2 and number 3 enzymes, but it's only going to have 2 protons pumped out, so you're only going to get 2 ATPs made from that.